Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to New Jersey Satellite Studio, where we show you the flavor of life here in the District of New Jersey. Hey everyone, and welcome back to INCRadio New Jersey Satellite Studio, where do we not only show you the flavor of life, we'll also talk about it. Welcome to today's show, where we will be talking about our favorite soups and stews. Sister Karen, it is cold outside, so when it's cold, what do you like to eat?
Super stews. Those are the best things to warm you up.
All right, yeah, and Sister Karen, I think that's something that we say here in North America is it's the food that sticks to your ribs, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So I think we can jump into it. So, Sister Karen, what are we going to be talking about?
Well, since we have so much to talk about, let's talk about soups and stews today. And Jeff, I hear you did an unofficial poll on these soups and stews. Tell us about it.
All right. Yes, I did. So, you kind of got a feeling out there because, they're the soups and stews that we like. So I kind of asked, team social media or just put it out there, like what everyone's favorite soups and stews are. And we got a bunch of feedback and a bunch of responses. So we took that information, crunched it using our fancy algorithm, or just kind of looked through it. So the top soups and stews that people liked, as per my unofficial social media and asking friends and family thing, was uh, that number five, tied at for actually in third place, tied at third, are Nilaga. And if you're not familiar with Nilaga, Sister Karen, have you had Nilaga before? Are you familiar with it? Could you describe it?
Uh, I'm not familiar with names of a lot of the stews, but I know what I like. So, no, I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay, all right, and yes, some of our viewers and listeners might not know. So, nilaga is it's known as a Filipino soup or stew. Honestly, we have to figure what the difference is. They're both wet food. Okay, so wet food, but nilaga is a soup with chunks of meat in it, usually beef. Sometimes there's pork, um, and it's a clear broth soup. There's other vegetables in there also. So, but there are equivalents all throughout the world. I believe pot au feu is how the French have it. The French and French Canadians have it. So it's just a nice clear broth soup with meat chunks and vegetables. It's so good. But tied with that is potato soup. Now, Sister Karen, what is the best potato soup you've ever had?
I'm not a potato soup fan. It's not enough in it. No, I'm not a potato soup fan.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think you're one of the votes for that one. And that's another one too. There are different kinds. Potato leek is actually one of my favorites there. So if you haven't had that, I think that might be vegetarian. Okay, so those were tied for third place. In second place, we have one of America's favorites, also especially considering that we live in the Northeast, is clam chowder. All right, Sister Karen, for our viewers and listeners, can you describe clam chowder?
Well, clam chowder, I'm on board with. So, as far as I know, there's two kinds of clam chowder. There's one with a red sauce, and there's one with a white sauce. Me, I prefer the red sauce clam chowder, but both of them are good. Clam chowder, I can do.
Right? And that's the thing, because you hear clam chowder, you typically might think of the white one, but I do like the red one also. Do I like it better do I like Manhattan clam chowder, which is the red one, better than New England clam chowder, which is the white one? I don't know. It depends. Although I do think what do you think, Mama Karen? Do you think the red one is healthier than the white one? Because the white one has what makes it white?
I'm not sure what makes it white, but I would say that maybe the white sauce. I mean, because I would assume maybe it had like flour or something in it, something, or I don't know. I would think that the tomato, the red one, was more healthier.
Right? Yeah, yeah. Because they tell you to eat your colors. I know. Wish we had Marisol on the show because she's our resident healthy person. Because definitely one of us here in the definitely one of us here in the show doesn't eat that healthy. But yeah, clam chowder is great. Okay. All right. And tied, we have two number one votes. Tied for first place is Arascaldo and Sinigang. Now, these two are, a lot of respondents were Filipino. So Sinigang is almost like the cousin of Nilaga, except that Sinigang has that sour component there. And if you've had it, and some people like it more sour, some people don't. The sourness tends to be provided by tamarind, or I think sometimes some people have used guava or even sometimes vinegar, but the tamarind is quite nice. It has good flavor. And arroscaldo is the rice porridge with chicken in it. So it's like chicken soup, but with that nice thick component in there. Okay, and we did have some unique mention. So, as mentioned by one of our show's friends, and you probably saw him right before, uh, by Nate Russell, black tonkatsu. That's a ramen with the black. I believe it's black garlic. I like that. Um, and then laksa noodle soup, as mentioned by Diane over in the Philippines, and then autumn squash, as mentioned by Albert Gerzon over in our northerly neighbor in New York. And then my mom mentioned miso with little meatballs and patola, and she cooks it. So viewers and listeners, Karen, come on over. Well, my parents' house is like 15 minutes away, but come visit us there. And then Bicol Express, that is another soup where there is a coconut milk base, and then it's actually spicy, and hopefully you can have that. And then another favorite from people was the zuppa toscana from one of the Italian chains here. So let's go into it. So Mama Karen. Oh, and our main studio likes lomi and bulalo. So those are fantastic for when it's cold. A nice bowl of hot soup. Mama Karen, how does that make you feel when you have a nice bowl of hot soup on a cold day like this? And I don't know if it snowed by you, but we got a little dusting of snow over here. How about you?
Yeah, this morning we did have a little dusting of snow. And yes, oh man, soup make you feel so warm inside. So to me, the difference between the soup and a stew is thicker. So I guess your white clam chowder would be more of of a stew, whereas the
Hmm.
tomato to me would be more of a soup. So I don't know. That's the difference I see in the soup and the stew. Soup is thinner, more watery, but a stew to me is more thicker, pastier.
All right, you heard it from Mama Karen. So, you know, team live chat, since you mentioned it, that's how it is now. And I agree with that. Like the stews tend to stick to you more, and soup you can kind of just go there and sip. Okay. So, Mama Karen, what is your favorite soup or stew?
Um, my favorite. Well, I love a vegetable soup. My favorite stew. There's a I don't know what you call that dish, but there's a Filipino dish with beef and big chunks of carrots and potatoes and just green peppers. It's a red sauce, but it's just I don't know the name of it, but anytime I see it, it's delicious. And and shout out to Sister Baby fight baby I mean Sister Sister Heidi. um she makes a great stew. Her stew, oh man, when she makes it, I sometimes like to go to her house just for that stew. It's wow. That really warms you up inside, and it gives you a happy heart, and it shows you that she made it with love because it's great.
You know, Mama Karen, I think that's how it is. I think it's 2025. It's a new year, and Mama Karen has a lot of mics to break. Okay. Because that's what we're talking about, like when you have those moments when you're together and then you just have a great bowl of soup or stew. Sometimes that stew is on top of rice. And actually, I think we could go to some pictures if we can. But it's all about being together. And Mama K, what is the number one ingredient in all of those best soups? You mentioned it earlier.
Of course, it's love. If you don't put love in it, there's no taste in it. You have to make these soups with love. So when you add that love in it, so it showed that you enjoyed making it. It showed that you're enjoying the people that's gonna eat it. It's like it's that love. That's that missing ingredient. So if you ever taste anything, like I went to a restaurant one time and the pancakes had no taste to it. So I told the waitress, I said, hey, somebody don't love their job. She was like, the owner made this. I was like, well, I think he'd rather be the owner and not the cook because it had no flavor to it. So when there's no flavor, it was not made with love. That the key ingredient, love.
All right, you heard it there, everyone. Viewers and listeners near and far. We got to pay the equipment bill because that was just a mic that got broken. At least one mic. Mama K just comes here, just dropping mics left and right. Okay. All right. And viewers and listeners, especially for the viewers, we got a little treat for you this morning. Hopefully, we're able to show some pictures of our soups and stews. So just checking. Kuya Tech, are you able to show them or should I do it? Let's see if we can get some of those. Oh, okay. So, Mama K, what do we have there? What does it
It
look
looks
like?
like beef with sauce and macaroni on the side.
All right. That one was actually a photo from my wife and I when we were in Paris, and we had, I think it might be the national dish, but it is referred to as beef bourguignon.
Oh.
So that is a nice, thick beef stew with a nice dark sauce there. And then they have it with macaroni. All right, we can go to the next picture. Okay. Now, this one is also something that we took. This is actually a divisive one because this is, for those of you who like tacos, there's one that's popular now called beef birria or birria tacos. And this is with it on top of ramen. Now, Sister Karen, can you tell us how much oil it looks like is on top of there?
Oh, is that oil? I didn't think
Yeah.
that was oil. I thought that was like just like a broth. But if it's oil, that's not for me. It looks delicious though. Look like there's lots of vegetables in it and onions and some good spices and stuff. But if it's oil, nah, I have to stay away from oil. This is
Yeah, same. Yeah, that's something that my wife pointed out. I mean, it did taste good, and it is great on tacos when you dip them, but when you just have it as a soup, yeah, I can confirm that you could feel all that in your bloodstream afterwards. But it did taste kind of good. It smelled great. All right, next photo. Okay, as mentioned by one of our favorites, Albert Gerzon. Actually, he composed the our theme song, which is I think it's Let's Work. This is a butternut squash soup, and this is another great one, especially this time of year. It is a harvest soup made with butternut squash. There's I think there was onions, cilantro, and some other stuff in there. Okay, next one. All right, Mama K, what kind of soup does this look like?
that looked like a chicken soup, chicken and maybe carrots, and I guess it's a chicken noodle soup. I'm not sure.
We have the winner for today. Yes, it is. This was provided by our very own brother James. Mama K, can there be anything more comforting than just a nice bowl of chicken soup?
When you're sick, if you have a cold or you just feel and it's cold outside, chicken noodle soup will warm you up inside.
And as you can hear, both Mama Karen and I are recovering from sore throats, so chicken soup is great for that. All right, if we can go to the next couple pictures because we are kind of getting crunched on time. This is a curry stew with cheese on top, and we got there right before the cheese was melting, so that is awesome. Okay, next picture, please. All right, now, Mama K, this is something that you got to come over for because this is my wife's dumpling and enoki mushroom soup, and my wife loves vegetables, so as you'll see, there's bok choy in there.
Oh, yes, that looks good.
Oh, and you got to come over for this, Mama K, and viewers and
Gotcha.
listeners, come on over, visit us in North Jersey, and then visit Mama Karen over down in the southern part of our district. All right, next photo, please. This is the one. The only, well, not the only, because a lot of people make it differently, but Nilaga. And Team Live Chat, let us know in there because one of the things that people talk about is whether or not to put carrots in there. So let us know if you like carrots in your Nilaga. All right, next picture. All right, this is a bit of an unusual one, and once again, my wife, she's in the live chat, team live chat, to like, give her a shout and say hi. She loves to experiment with different kinds of soup and different kinds of cooking. So, Mama K, this is something that, yeah, maybe come over and visit, and everyone else to come check us out. This is a dumpling soup that has a red pepper base, a Korean red pepper base, and it has octopus balls in there. Yeah, right. Very interesting, but very delicious also. All right, next picture, please. Okay, this is a tonkatsu udon soup. Once again, if you are in the northern part of our district, where I'm at, there is a large Asian population. So that was one of the ones out there. Okay, next picture, please. Okay, now, Mama Karen, I think we might have to wind down, but this is a nice bowl of ramen. Mama K, have you had a good bowl of ramen?
No, to me, that doesn't look like something I would eat.
Yeah, right. It's got so much stuff in
There's
there,
a
and then
lot going on in that pot.
right, yeah. But this also came from Brother James, so he said he fully enjoyed it. Okay, and do we have any more pictures there? Okay, all right, another noodle soup. I think this is another version of ramen. So you know what, for our ramen lovers out there, I love a good noodle soup. So yeah, that's something great to share with everyone. Okay, and now we have another ramen. Now this one has fried shrimp on top, so another great thing. And do we have any more? Tech or main studio? Okay, you know what? We didn't want to, right, Mama Karen? We didn't want to give them too many pictures because it's right around lunchtime. Do you think we can hear those grumbling stomachs out there? All right, everyone. Okay, so thank you so much for talking about our topic. And then you know what? I think once again we have another mic to drop. Mama K. What is the point of us talking about soup and stew? Is it just talking about soup and stew just to talk about food, or what is the catch-all? What is the moral of our story?
I think the moral of the story with the soups and stews is it brings family together, it brings people together, it warms your heart, it warms you on the inside, and it allows you to share love. So I think that's the moral of our story, love.
And I gotta put that out there too. So yeah, once again, it's just the first month of this year, and Mama Karen has broken two mics. Okay. So above all, we do it with love. So thank you so much. I think we have to move on. So, um, Mama Karen, you have any greetings or shout outs?
I just want to shout out my locale of Philadelphia, my minister, our resident minister, Brother Bernard, and our district minister, and our assistant district minister. Shout out.
All right. Thanks again, Mama Karen. And I have some greetings too. Of course, got to greet my home locale of Bergen, and got to greet someone. Well, she's not here. She's out there somewhere, so I can say it again. She's somewhere out there. I think at the dentist. She's probably sitting in the dentist chair, just messaging. So, okay, from House Fernandez to all of you, and then got some birthday. So coming up is the. It's funny. It's a bi buy one get with two free. It's a three-part birthday where we have the birthday of Alvin Orbe. So happy birthday, Alvin! Happy birthday, Lloyd Damien over in Whippany, and happy birthday to my dad. So you know, say
Happy
happy birthday.
birthday!
All right, yeah, and it's not today. It's later on in the week, but of course, we're not broadcasting on Wednesday. But yeah, happy birthday to my dad. Okay, and we do have some comments which we'll need to get through quickly. So, uh, Reynaldo Odez, formerly from New Jersey, he says, greetings from SFM in Johnsonville, Connecticut. Our very own Marisol Dagadot, she said, I crave for wonton soup when I was pregnant with Caleb and pancit lomi with Gabriel. So it's a different hashtag Winslow. Eve Evangelist says, he really misses seafood soup, but his gout no longer permits. And good able with you on that one. Okay, Tamara Stevens' favorite soup is chicken noodle. Gotta love chicken noodle. Marisol Dagadot. Sotanghon soup is one of her faves, so that is with clear noodles. Evangelista says sinigang is the best soup, so he's got votes for sinigang, which he's allowed to eat. Gregoria Fajardo. Hi, Tita. Sinigang is the best soup, so she has another vote for sinigang. Ray Valdez also says beef noodle potato soup with pork is one of his favorites. Tamara also mentions that tomato soup goes great with grilled cheese. And Gregorio Fajardo again, Tita again, says Arascaldo and Sotanghon are her favorites. Marisol also brings in soup is brothy, stew is thicker. So, we got a confirmation there. Ray Valdez also mentioned that soup generally has a more liquid base, can be either clear or creamy. Stew is thicker and heartier with a sauce that is more substantial. And he learned that in South Korea when he was there. Wow. Wow, thanks, Kari. Appreciate it. And we hope you had a great time in Korea. Priscilla Batan says, hello, watching from Rizal. Be good and blessed to all brethren around the world. Keep safe and healthy. And, you know, very own Man says, ginataang bilo or sticky rice balls and coconut milk is good. So it is a dessert soup. So you don't have to just have soup as the savory item. Not sure if it's counted as soup or stew, dessert, or both. But hey, it works out. All right, I think we have to move on to our hashtag. So we don't have to go for the bumper. We can mention that Bergen was the honorable mention. In third place, we have Bayonne. In second place, we have C&J. Thanks a lot, C&J. And drum roll, please. Aston in first place. Congratulations to our hashtag winners. And you're all winners in our heart. And speaking of winners, our best comment from last week was, you got to check her out. INCRadio is not just in New Jersey. It's not just in South Central states. Um, we usually see Nate Russell in the chat. But also, we got Flo Guillermo over at INCRadio Oregon. So go check her out in the Pacific Northwest. This year, I will be kinder to me. Best comment from last week. All right, Mama Kay, I think we can move on to our activity update. So can you talk to us about that?
Yes, for our activity update. So coming Sunday, tomorrow, January the 12th, at 7 p.m., there'll be a special gathering for all officers at all chapels. Saturday, Sunday, the 18th and the 19th is a joint CFO meeting by locale. So this month, our CFO meeting will be a joint one. Friday, January the 24th, will be a worldwide EVM by locale. And any other for all other activities, check with your congregation for your local activities.
And I think we can go right into CFO in action. So, Mama Karen, would you like to introduce CFO in action?
Okay, so here's our CFO in action.
CFO in action.
Several local congregations in the District of New Jersey of the Church of Christ welcomed 2025 with an evening of festive fun, food, and fellowship. The celebration kicked off with a prayer, then an entertaining program. A sumptuous potluck dinner followed, showcasing a diverse array of culinary delights. The brethren took advantage of the stunning backdrops, perfectly capturing the essence of the celebrations. Smiles abounded as they posed for photos with friends and family, preserving memories of the special night. The beautiful setting added an extra layer of joy to the evening as laughter and camaraderie filled the air. As the night progressed, the atmosphere became even more lively with a range of engaging games and activities that catered to all ages and interests. From team building challenges to creative contests, there was something for everyone to enjoy. The congregations came together to reflect on the past year, express gratitude, and looked forward to the new year with hope and optimism. Bowling could be a great way to get physical exercise. That is what the local congregations of Philadelphia and beyond discovered as they started the new year off with their first CFO bowling activity. The brethren spent this practicing their bowling skills while improving their bowling scores in hopes to be prepared for this year's Sports Fest. Win or lose, the members enjoyed a day filled with family, friends, and fun. The day highlighted the importance of balancing spiritual growth with recreational activities, fostering a sense of community and togetherness outside of worship services. Led by District Minister Brother Alex M. Reyes, the Brethren in the District of New Jersey continue to be united and actively participate in all activities approved by the church administration. This was our CFO in action the past weeks. From the District of New Jersey, this is Sister Marisol Dagota. We'll have more on the CFO in action next week. See ya!
And that's our show for today. So we thank you for everyone who tuned in to us as we talked about soups and stews. If you liked our show, like and subscribe. And if you found value in the show, please share it with your family and friends. Jeff?
All right, before we go, we'd like to thank our church administration for their continuous support to INC Radio and allowing us to have this show where we can stay connected and learn together and share a bowl of virtual soup with one another. We especially thank our beloved executive minister, Brother Eduardo Manalo, our SEBC president and CFO coordinator, Brother Angelo Manalo, and we'd also like to thank our INC Radio station manager, Brother Wally Tarai, and thanks Guia Tech and Main Studio for helping us with today's broadcast.
And before we say goodbye, we again like to thank everyone for joining us as we talked about soups and stews. We'll see everyone on our next episode of INC Radio New Jersey.
This is INC Radio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.